Hello and welcome to this brand new starting from scratch playthrough. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to start with no mods, all the DLCs that I've got, and I'm not going to take a single loan on this playthrough. And basically the reason why I want to do this is I want to see just how long it actually takes. It's been ages since I've started a new profile on this game. I've got around 3,000 hours in it, played on Twitch for hours and hours, done some live streams on here as well. I get asked a lot how to make money quickly, etc. How do you do it? How do you build up from scratch? Instead of doing a normal these are the 10 things you want to do video, I thought I'd do a let's play and I would start from scratch with no loans, no mods, and just see how it goes. Really, that's kind of what we're going to do. So as you can see, we're on a brand new profile. I've put my name in. I'm going to choose the picture, preferred truck design, company logo, all of that stuff, and then I'm going to get in. What will happen then is I will go through the settings to make sure I've got the wheel set up how I want it and all the buttons set up, and then we'll either do the tutorial, or if I've got to do a tutorial to get to that, we'll jump in and we'll start doing quick jobs from there. So sit back, enjoy. I'm going to try and make each episode roughly about an hour long. I hope that's enough for you. And depending on how it goes, I might upload once a week, maybe twice a week. So do let me know in those comments down below your preferred amount of these uploads that you would like to see. And let's jump into it. First things first, name, obviously. Second thing, profile picture. Now, do we go with something that is more to me, or do we go something out there? I'm not going to be linking this to World of Trucks because I don't want to do external jobs, because that is kind of cheat mode. This is meant to be sort of like a very, very down the line sort of profile. So I think we might go out there. I think we might go for something absolutely outrageously crazy. I think I saw somebody with like a lot of hair. I haven't had a lot of hair since I was like very young, 18-ish. We might go with him. He looks cool. We'll choose him. Preferred truck design. Now, this is gonna cause a lot of controversy in those comments. Let me know what your preferred truck design was, but I quite like the Renault T. I'm a big fan of the Renault, so we're gonna go with that as our preferred truck. And then company logo. It doesn't really matter this, does it? But we'll go with that one. We'll go with that one. Company name. Struggle Bus. I like Struggle Bus. Obviously English, map module Europe, that's fine. Use Steam Cloud, yes. Let's create. We have to select our headquarters selection, and I'm going to start in Aberdeen. The reason why is I want to start in Aberdeen and then work my way south and try and discover as many different places and unlock as much stuff as I can as we go through, and then once we hit Europe, I don't know. But with us doing quick jobs, we'll be staying in this sort of area around here, and you know, the UK doesn't really get enough recognition in my opinion, so we'll go through the UK and then we'll make our way down south. It's better than starting over here or over here and just end up going Calais to Dover all the time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start in Aberdeen. Okay, so we are doing the tutorial just so that I make sure that I've got all of the buttons and everything set how I want it. It took me way longer than it should have done, but I couldn't remember what I'd set everything to in the main game. So let's go. We've got to use our additional controller to move the truck, try moving forward a few meters and then stop. Easy peasy. It's been ages since I've done this. There you go, we've reset the thing. I will be changing the truck position as we go. So we've got our different interior cameras there, which is kind of cool, and we can reset with that. That's fine. Chasing camera, look around, and press enter on them to continue. There you go. So you can look around, look at the truck. It's very pretty. We are starting in our red Renault, as we chose that as our preferred truck design, and then we'll enter to move on. Roof cameras, all those. Yep, that's fine. Make delivery, use route advisor to see where you are and where you need to go. Press F1 or pause to look closer. It's fine. I don't need to do that. It's fine. So we're just literally going out and around the corner. I can handle that. I've got to get out of here though, haven't I? It's alright, I'm telling you to go forward and stop a bit, but then you've got to make your way out of the thing. I'm crashing already. This is going really well. No damage, but we are crashing already. I'm not used to driving on the right-hand side either, so this is going to be really interesting. But we are starting in the UK, so it shouldn't be that bad. I do apologise as well if the indicators are a little loud. I am using a Thrustmaster, and the gear paddles, which I'm using for the indicator because I'm doing simple automatic as I don't have a shifter, they're a little bit loud. But I like it. I like the clickiness. And there we go. We have done our delivery. Beautiful. I have forgotten to set the enter button as the X or A. So I'm going to have to use the keyboard for that. But I will go into the options and change that momentarily. We are going to go with where you need it because I'm a badass. We are going to switch the outer camera for this. And just to make sure that we're going. But this is why I wanted to do tutorial, because it shows me when I've forgotten to do something that's quite important. You know, like setting a button I'm going to be using all the damn time. And I don't need a confirm button. I don't need an ulterior for that, clearly. Not when it's on the steering wheel. I'd rather reach across and have to press it on the keyboard all the time. I don't think I've set my button for letting go of the trailer either. So I've got two buttons that I've not done that we're going to have to go into. I'm a professional, I promise. Oh dear, but there you go. We're gonna drop it in. Try to drop it in till it goes green, and then we will press the button. And tutorial done. Look at us go. We're professionals. Yay! We went 1,000 yards. I'm so proud of me. Okay, all buttons have been done. We do have the tutorial modes on here as well, as you can see. You can see your progress. You can see what level we are. We are rating 0.0 because we haven't done anything yet. And we've got our career here, which is a really nice option that they added in one of the recent updates. So you can see your statistics. You can see how many penalties you've got. You can see your delivery log as well and what XP you're on. This is really nice. This is one of the best additions they've made. It makes it much clearer to see where everything is. Now, it is important to note that I am going to be trying to do sticking to the speed limit and stuff wherever possible. I haven't turned the truck limiter off for that reason. And we're going to jump in. We're going to take the next job. What we taking? Let's have a look. Do I want to go with something that is, you know, just short and easy? Or do I want to go something that might be a little bit more interesting? Do I stick with Renault? These are all questions that need answering. This one doesn't seem bad. It's in a Volvo, but it's worth $3,000. There is one with a Renault down here. It is set to price per distance, so it will come up with, you know, the best value, but that doesn't always mean it's the best value. You can set it to however you want, but we're going to keep it with price per distance. But I think we're going to go in with the Renault. Going from Aberdeen to Glasgow, it's worth $3.3 grand. Let's do it. Let's take it. Let's stick with the Renaults where we can. I think that's going to be a good idea. I will probably change the position of the cab as well, just because it's a little bit too close for me. So we're going to hit F4 and we're going to go to adjust seats. Also with the Renault, I don't know if you've noticed, but the mirrors tend to be pointed not great. Point very outwards for some reason. Like in this one they're not too bad, but whenever you buy a Renault brand new, or whenever I bought one on the main account, like the mirrors were always pointed into the middle of nowhere for no reason. I don't know why, but here we are. Right then, we don't want that on because we've got our GPS in the bottom left, as you can see, and I always have my mirrors on just because I can't see out that side. So we are going to try and stick to the speed limits wherever possible, and we're going to get lots of road destination discovery, as you can see, because it's a brand new profile. And I'm on the wrong side of the road already. This is going really well. Yep. Professional driver, friends. That's what I am. A professional driver. So I'm going to try and stick to 30 miles an hour. And we will see how this delivery goes. I'm quite excited. It's been a while since I played a new game, and I genuinely can't remember how hard it is to build up a profile without using loans, without using the World of Trucks sort of external jobs to sort of cheat with resting and stuff. I do believe I've got simulation on as well, so I will need to stop for rest breaks, but I can check. After this, we've got ourselves a Scania dealer there. That's always useful. Choose a preferred truck of Renault and then discover a Scania. That's going to see as well. And we're just going to take it nice and slow and easy. We're not going to go too hard. We're not going to go too fast. We're just going to stick to the speed limit and see how it goes. I like the Renault T. I love the interior of it. Even the bog standard sort of Renaults that don't tend to be too tech savvy, right? When you go to from the basic to the more newer versions or the better cabs, they look quite snazzy. But even the bog standard one with just like a really old school navigation system still seems really good. I also have been playing Farm Sim too much. I forgot just how much force feedback this wheel actually has. It's kind of scary. I'm going to get a workout doing this. It's like pre-power steering levels. It's great. I love that for me. But we're driving down. It's going to be a good drive. I feel like we are going to do really well. It's going to take us a while before we're not doing quick jobs anymore. But the plan is I want to get my first truck, be it a Renault or whatever, and then start to earn my own money, and then try and buy a second truck as soon as possible and start employing people to make us more money and generally grow the company out as we go. But like I say, we'll probably be doing a lot of quick jobs for now as we just try to get a decent income, and obviously trying not to get too many fines, if any, because fines will be the death of me and they will scupper this playthrough from the get-go. We're going to try not to crash into anything. I am going to try and stick to the speed limit wherever possible. I'm going to try and keep an eye on it as well as I can, but I do have a bit of a lead foot, hence why a lot of my ETS clips that I'm sure you guys have already seen involve me crashing quite a bit. But we're not going to do that on this. We're not going to crash. We're not going to cause any issues. We're going to keep the Popo quite happy as we make our deliveries as we go, and just take in how pretty this game really is. It's one of them. It's weird because even though we're in the UK, which hasn't had a lot of love at all in many years, it's still pretty scenery. It's not very accurate. The roads are nightmarish, and I think the scale is actually different on base game as well. I think somebody told me that the scale is 1 to 16 as opposed to 1 to 19, I think, or 1 to 19 as opposed to 1 to 16. Either way, it's longer to travel in the UK even though the distance is shorter, so it can be a bit awkward. It can feel like you're driving down the same road for ages, but then that's kind of what it's like in the UK when you're driving, you know? Also, for those wondering, the reason why I am sat so close to the desk and sat so close to the wheel is purely and simply mic position. I have been messing around with this mic for a while, trying to get it into a position that for me seems to work best, where it doesn't pick up too much background noise but picks me up even when I talk in a very monotone way. As a result, it's quite far away from my mouth, so if I was to sit back you wouldn't be able to hear me at all, which is generally not advised. So I will be sat quite close, but I'm comfortable. I've got my little armrests on my chair, so I'm not too worried. I am going faster than the speed limit already, only by 3 miles, but 3 miles is enough. Also, on the note of speed limits, guys, you'll have to let me know if you're in Wales at the minute, how you're finding the new 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, because I can't see that being too fun. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I can't see it being too much fun as a driver to be limited to 20 mile an hour. I don't know if it's going to be more cost effective, less cost effective. Apparently it's already affecting certain bills and things. But yeah, if you're in the if you're in the UK, if you're in Wales, do let me know how you're finding the new speed limits, how widely they're being implemented and things as we drive around in Scotland in the game. taking it nice and easy and having a good time. Or at least I'm having a good time. I don't know about you guys. I hope you are. We are... It's not too far away. Like, it's weird how, even though I know it's a very short journey, it doesn't feel like it, and yet I'm not bothered by that. This game has a weird way of making you feel like the longer the journey, the better it is. Yet I'm sure most people in real life, when they're driving, don't really want that. Like, there are some people that enjoy driving recreationally, which is completely fair, but if you're driving with a purpose, if you're driving to a place for a thing, you just want to get there. You just want the destination to be there. But this game has a way of making you enjoy the journey, enjoy the fact that it's going to take you a fair bit of time. It also doesn't help that, like I've said before, I am used to going at such a rate of speed that I generally get to any destination quite quickly. So traveling to the speed limit is going to be a big challenge of mine. I'm planning on keeping it to that so I don't get fines every 5 seconds, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get out of quick jobs. But when I've got my own my own tractor, my own truck, when I get my own truck, I can't say whether that's going to stay the same, because once you get your own truck and you're making more money and you're making that progress, you don't have to worry about it as much. But early game, like if you're going to play with fines on it, it is a big deal. It's a massive deal to not get caught. Notice how I say don't get caught and not don't speed. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about what I just said there. We're going to ignore it. It's fine. It's okay. We are vibing. I hope. The game looks really weird with no mods. So I normally play with about 109, 110 mods on my main account. Most of them are cosmetic, but I do have some that like change the gas station's appearance and stuff, and it's really weird seeing them as base game again. It's nice. It's almost nostalgic. I mean, the game's been out for a very long time right now. So going through an area that hasn't been touched in a while, that's basically as it was when it was first made, just higher graphical fidelity, and they've just really recently released new minimum requirements for the game because of how pretty they're making it look. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird going through and seeing it, you know? I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it. I can't work it out. I genuinely can't. I think it's cool. Like, it's still pretty. It's always pretty. The game has always been pretty. The game will always be pretty. It's always kept up with appearances, if you know what I mean. Like, the aesthetics have always been good. But I don't know. I don't know if I prefer it with my mods. I'm being overtaken. This is something I'm not used to. This is something I'm not used to at all. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about being overtaken. I don't like it. It makes the racer in me go, you've got to take him. You can take him out. You can catch him. It's like when you drive in Italy on the game and you see the Lambo and you're like, I can take that. I can totally take that. I thought he was going to come across then and I was going to have a big crash, but I didn't. We're all good. They have done some work to the traffic levels as well. I did use the traffic density mod for a while, but it got a little bit ridiculous. Like, it increased the traffic density too much, especially after I think it was 1.46, when they upped the traffic. They upped it a little bit. They made it a bit more realistic. And so with the realistic traffic density mod on top of increased base game traffic, the hilarity was there, but you would end up in traffic jams that would just literally last you forever, which is why I took it off. It was nice having that increased amount, but at the same time, it really didn't help, because you would end up where the AI would have a slight calamity, they would have a slight issue, and then you'd be backed up for miles and miles and miles and miles, and then you'd have to force your way through, and it kind of negate the point of having the traffic in the first place. So I like the fact that they've just basically increased the base amount of traffic. It makes the game feel alive enough, but not at the same time. It's alright, I can go 55 because the speed limit's 60, so we're okay. 56, we've pushed it to 56. We are flying down the road now, and I'm checking my mirrors because I need to go into the right lane, because again, junctions in the UK are not ideal, they're not fantastic. We have definitely had better ones. We're only going to Glasgow, so it shouldn't take us too long down the road. Now we're not on thinly little country lanes, we can make some decent progress. Oh god. Roadworks. Roadworks cause queuing, and there's nothing more that Brits love to do than queue, right? Oh, you've got to be so observant, right? When you're playing like this, you've got to be so observant of everything, because the way that the game works, it's one of the least realistic sort of modes of this game, in that the speed limit is instant. If you've got a policeman behind you and you're driving down the road and the speed limit changes, then you don't get no time to brake. If you're going 50 and it changes straight to like 45, if you're going 45 at the second it changes, you get hit with the coppers, and they're like, yeah, no, you need to slow down, and we're gonna fine you for that. Yet in real life you would get some braking distance time, like you would be given some leeway there to change your speed. Like they would usually have a sign followed by another sign sort of thing to let you know that it's going down. You wouldn't get clocked straight away the second you cross that imaginary border. So it's a bit unrealistic in that sense. It sort of expects things of you that you are just physically incapable of doing. But it's not too bad. Like, you just got to be a bit more observant, right? You just got to pay attention more, which as a driver you should probably be doing all the time. I would like to point out at this point as well, for those of you who don't know, I don't have a driving license. I don't drive. So if I'm doing anything desperately, dastardly, horribly wrong, that's why. Because I don't have a license. I don't do the driving thing. I tend to walk everywhere. The only driving I do is in this and Farm Sim, and sometimes ATS. It's probably why I'm rolling over the hard shoulder line all the time. But I see our first journey is ending, guys. I see our first journey is ending. I like this. This is good. We're gonna get our first payday. Makes me happy. You get to watch me reverse really badly again. And no, I'm not gonna be reversing or parking up in first person, because one, I find it really tedious and boring to watch that. It's much funnier to watch how I screw it up. But also, again, no driving license. I find it difficult enough just to drive down the road in this as it is without trying to reverse bay park in first person. Yeah, no, I'm good. I be angry. Be angry at me. It's fine. I'm not doing that. Nope. Not me still with my indicators on, because I indicated left and then forgot to indicate right and then didn't turn. So yeah, again, amazing life skills here of driving. I'm doing so well. Tell me you're proud of me, guys. I need the validation. I do. I'm now going 38 and a 30 because of course I am. This is fine. Now it's 50 again. What? That's another thing that really confuses me about this game sometimes. The way that the speed limit will change and then change and then change again. It's so odd. Like, there you go, look, we're going 30 again. You went from 30 to 50 back to 30 in a matter of yards. So, that was a thing. Here we go. I do kind of want to just drive around, but we won't be able to do that until we get our own truck. Just because I don't really want to spend time wasting time on a quick job. I don't want to push it. I don't want to risk it. I'm not a gambling man, what can I say? Not anymore. We're going to get there, it's going to go green. I've got a really itchy nose today and I don't know why. So I apologise for all of the itchiness. Another red light. All the red lights. Also, let me know if you would like me to put the voice GPS on. Just so you know where I'm going. I don't necessarily need it, but it is something that's a cool feature of the game. So if you would like voice GPS on for the next one, let me know. Okay, first journey done. First journey out of the way. We like that. We are indeed going to go with the way you need it because we want all of the extra XP. And that's another reason why I wanted to take a longer job. Just because more XP means we level up quicker. The more we level up, the more bonuses we can get, the different types of jobs we can take. And as a result, the faster we can grow. Reverse. Nice and gently. That's much better than the first one I did. That was smooth. I like that. Decouple and away we go. Boom. Excellent. From Aberdeen to Glasgow, we did 148 miles. 3 hours 40. About to say 3 hours exactly then. Fuel consumed 118 litres, base reward, and manoeuvring bonus. So there you go, we are now level 1. I'm going to take these first. I always take these first. This is the way that I've always done it. It just seems to open up more jobs quicker. And then I'm going to put 1 point into long distance, into 1 point in all of them. And then we'll go out with the long distance, then high value and stuff. This just unlocks the jobs, and then we can get the longer jobs, and then we can get the more money for each type. It just seems to be a decently balanced way of doing it, but feel free to let me know if you disagree. Let me know how you level. Tricky garages here, hydrogen drivers, yeah, cool. So we can do all that. We've got the bank available, but we're not taking it. We are going to take a new job market, and we're going to see what job is available that we can do. I generally speaking want to keep going down, right? I want to keep going south. I don't want to go back to Glasgow. I want to discover more places. So ideally, if we can find one that goes to Edinburgh, that would be perfect. Money's not really an issue here, but if we can take one that goes to Edinburgh and then we can just work our way south, that would be really cool. Do we have one? We do. We've got wooden beams in a Mercedes this time. But that's going from Aberdeen to Edinburgh. Because, of course, with quick jobs, it starts you wherever and goes to wherever. So do we have another one that's from, like, Glasgow to Edinburgh? Maybe. Glasgow to Aberdeen. It doesn't look like it, does it? Glasgow to Carlisle. It looks like if we want to go to Edinburgh... Oh, no, there it is. There's one. Perfect. Fantastic. We'll stick some stones. We're going to be in a man. Wow. It is the worst paid. But destination is key. So we're going to do that. We're going to take this one. We're going to take the man. I'm going to go for a little ride in the man. And we'll see where we end up. I wonder if this is going to be right-hand drive still. It is. Good. Again, one of the first things we always do whenever we get in a new truck is we're going to adjust the seats, because I would like to actually see out of the window. That'd be fab. There you go. Beautiful. And away we go. We don't need that up. And we're off. We are starting in a mining area, so this is going to be really interesting because I always get lost in these. I always end up going the wrong way and getting lost and not being able to find my way out, but I think we've done okay. I think we've discovered it. I actually don't like these trailers either. These little stone trailers are horrible. They are way too light, they're way too short, and they tend to result in tippage. But it's fine because we are not going to be we're not going to be going crazy. We're not going to be driving at massively high speeds, so it will be fine. Is that see, we've done it again. I think we've done it again. I think I've found a dead end. Is this a dead end or is this no, this is a dead end. Right, okay, cool. I'm lost again. This has gone really well. Now, the good thing about these mans, and this is the new TG3 as well, by the way. The good thing about these mans is that they are quite maneuverable. And as a result, even if you do cock up, you can get away with it. It's sort of a handy thing with the shorter trailer as well. Like the trailer I've just been dissing is actually not that terrible because you can maneuver a bit easier because it is so much shorter. If we'd had like a heavy load or a special transport, which we won't have because not high enough level yet, it would have been a different story. But it's fine, we got out. We've got out, I think. I think we've got out. Have we got out? Lots of rest points in this area, probably because it takes you 3 years to get out, but here we are. I think I'm safe. First challenge done. Getting out of the mine shaft. Where's Lassie? Lassie will help. We can get Lassie to give us a hand. It will be fine. What could go wrong? Oh dear. We're getting there. Up we go. Yeah, made it. There's the exit. Perfect. Right. We don't have a camera on this one. So the cool thing with the TG3 is when you get to unlock them later on, the higher level trucks, you can have cameras. So you can have a camera on your roof or on your front, so you can have it looking down, and then you can have cameras for mirrors, so you can see a lot easier, a lot more clearer. It just makes life a bit easier. But we're in a base model here, so it doesn't come with anything fancy like that. The other problem I've got with the man is that the dashboard is a little bit unclear. It's a little bit fuzzy for no reason. You can see it when you zoom in, and it does make it a bit clearer, but it's something that I've not complained about, but I've brought to the attention of many people whenever I've driven one, is that I don't like the dash. Like, it's so clear and so cool, and yet the writing is so blurred and so hard to understand that there's no point in changing it. There's no point in cycling through the options because you can't read what the options say. I can't read that. I don't know what that's supposed to say. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I'm praying that there's nothing coming out here because I'm not being overly smart. But there's a man behind us. But yeah, outside it, like, it's just one of them, innit? It's just something I'm not a fan of. Like, you might as well just keep it on basic because you can't see what it says anyway. So who cares? It is what it is, I guess. Little combine, look. Little combine. I see the combine. I'm drifting over to the barrier. That's bad. Speed limit 50. I do like the GPS on this though. It is much easier to see. It's much cleaner. Like, they got the GPS and the camera right, and then the heads-up display just went out the window. The wheel's really nice as well. The steering wheel. I like the way, the direction, the aesthetics that man have taken. And when you get the the uber special interior on this thing. It looks really, really nice with the red touches, and the fact you can do that with the seats and things is just really, really good. Obviously, we're low level and we're doing quick jobs, so we're being given the basic truck because they don't trust us. God forbid they trust us with something worth more than only 100,000, but you know, there you go. The Mans are actually quite fast as well. Like the new TG3, it's got some oomph to it. It's not the fastest, but it's got some oomph to it, and the brakes are incredible. The brakes have saved me from so many dire straits that I totally don't ever do because I'm always observing the laws of the road. But they have definitely got me out of a trouble or two here and there, which I'm quite grateful for. Styling wise on the outside, they still need to add some stuff. The lack of customization is definitely a problem with the new MAN TG3, but it's a licensing issue. I know it's a licensing issue. I still don't have to like it. It's the same with the new DAF XG Plus. That's also very limited by contract availabilities and things. Unfortunately, it's very much a bit of a shame. We are going a little bit too quick down here, but that's fine. Because again, we've got good brakes. And good brakes help. Good brakes make the world go round. Round the corner. It feels faster than what I'm actually going. It feels faster. It's really odd. Like it genuinely feels like I'm going faster than 43. I think it's because I'm in a base truck. I'm lower down. It doesn't feel like I'm quite as high up. One major change I did see with the TG3 as well is that the windows are smaller, which makes the driving experience much better. It's not as loud. The old Mans, the Euro 5, Euro 6, are incredibly noisy interiors because they went with this massive sort of window option to give you as much sort of view space as possible. But the downside to that is they're really noisy and very rattly, whereas the new ones, these TG3s, have a much smaller windshield, just like the other trucks, and as a result the interior is so quiet. I could not believe how quiet it was when I started driving them. I was dumbfounded by how quiet they were. In a good way. Dumbfounded, but in a good way. Like, it was bonkers to me just how quiet it was and how pleasurable it was to drive, which made me really upset because the outside I couldn't do anything with. On my main account I have a lot of mods, like I said, because of the customization. I've got a lot of different truck skins, I've got a lot of different additions that I can do to them, and I don't like adding things to a truck via mods that the game doesn't allow outside of skins. So I don't tend to download too many accessories, external ones at least, unless I absolutely have to. And I hate the fact that to make this truck look so much better than what it does as standard, I would have to do that, and out of matter of principle I haven't. It's weird, I know it's weird, it's a me thing. I've seen some amazing mods, some amazing interiors that you can get for this truck on the mod hub. Modders do the Lord's work, I swear. Hopefully in time the contract will expire and we will get the desperately required DLC that we all want, but I don't think it's going to be for a year or so at least. And even then it will be DAF that gets the update first. I think DAF will be the one that gets the DLC for the brand new truck before MAN. I don't think they will include it in the pre-existing DAF DLC. They might do, but I don't see it. I don't see that being a thing at all. Be nice if it was. Merging lanes, the absolute bane of my existence. Luckily there's no cars here, but if there's ever a car in like the lane that I'm now in, when I'm in the lane that's merging, they don't move. They don't move, they don't let you out, and I cry. That's basically what happens. It's the same at toll booths as well. If you're ever in a toll booth and you're unlucky enough to have a truck pulling into the lane next to you and you're trying to get into the lane because of where your turning is, the AI don't care. The AI's got no chill. It doesn't care about your feelings. It's got a place it wants to go, and it's going in that place, whether you like it or not. It's a problem. It's very much a problem. But we got lucky with it there. We didn't have that. It's fine. La-dee-dee. I need to stop doing that. It's a really bad habit of mine. Joys of streaming on Twitch for as long as I have. I tend to be constantly scared of dead space. Which, you know, you should be. You shouldn't have that much dead space in a video. It can be negative. So I started doing la-dee-dee, la-dee-da. Just randomly, if I thought I wasn't talking too much. Which would then kick my brain into going, you need to say something, so say something. Are you going to let me out? You're going to let me out? What a legend. What an absolute legend that man is. The AI driver actually stopping to let me out into the next lane. I genuinely didn't think he was going to do that. I genuinely thought he was just going to keep going and I was going to have to wait for him. What a boss that man is. I am astounded. In a good way, but astounded nonetheless. Now I want to move over to the left-hand lane, because I can see on the GPS in the bottom left-hand corner that we are going to be turning left next to our next destination. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're still at 60, but I don't know where the camera is. And it's got a habit of saying 60, you're looking, and then it changes down to 50, which it has done, and luckily I was going less than anyway. The speed cameras, at least in the UK, are much easier to spot than they are in Europe. You can see them, but they are much... They're better hidden. They are much better hidden. There you go. We're almost there, friends. We're back in the 30 and I'm doing 40. Shit. Not good. Edinburgh discovered. Almost there. Perfect. This one. Yeah, look at me getting the right exit. Not that I've ever taken the wrong exit before, because I've not been paying that much attention. I would never do that. I always pay attention to exactly what I'm doing. Totally always pay attention to what I'm doing, clearly. Beautiful. Fantastic. Now, in theory, this should be a lot easier to sort of park up. But, as we all know, guys, what's better in theory does not always match up with actual practical implications, I guess, or implementation. Because it's such a short wheelbase object, it snakes a wee bit, but I think we've got there. I think we've got there. Ish. I might have to pull out once to straighten her up, but then we're there, look. We're there. We're there. We got this. Easy. Beautiful. Oh, it's good seeing that excellent rating, isn't it? So we didn't get paid a lot for that, which is obviously going to be a huge sort of deal for this. We didn't even get that much XP. But we have discovered 3 new areas, right? So we've got Aberdeen, Glasgow, and Edinburgh discovered. So if I can keep going down the UK like this, eventually we will get, you know, a decent amount of discovery done, and we can earn some money. We've got a long way to go. We're going to be doing a lot of quick jobs until we get to our first truck, and then things can really hopefully start ramping up, because obviously we'll get more money for the jobs, and by that point we'll have some more long distance jobs that we can do as well. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope that you like the idea of seeing this playthrough of a brand new game, no mods, all the DLCs, and no loans. It's going to be the no loans that's going to make it a real difficult slog, but a real enjoyable one as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.